and a warm welcome to everyone joining us today from the various countries for today's Ibexa 4.1 public release webinar. My name is Nicole Geider from the Cologne office, Global Marketing Manager at Ibexa, and happy to host today's session. After sharing a few Ibexa insights today and addressing digital transformation topics, we will also get a nice product tour today and explore our headless and omnichannel capabilities. But before we do so, a few housekeeping items. So you as a participant are muted and you're kindly invited to ask any question that you may have here below in the Q&A function, and we get back to this at the end of the webinar. Also, I would like to invite you to come back to our ibexa.co website under the resources section. You will find the on-demand version afterwards, or simply just look out for our thank you mail. We will include the recording as well with further information as well. And last but not least, I would also invite you to our blog, as the team has published further interesting content related to this release webinar, which may be useful for you. So let's have a look at today's presenters. Welcoming our VP Marketing, Gregory, today. Nice to have you joining us today, Gregory.
Hello, Nicole.
Additionally, you will get some insights from our Director of Product Management, Sylvain. Welcome, Sylvain.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Nicole, for having me.
And also Camille, our Solution Architect leader. Nice to have you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me today.
All right, the stage is yours. Over to you, Gregory.
Yes, thank you, Nicole. Yes, thank you. I'm very glad to be here as the new VP of Marketing at Ibexa. Very exciting to have this great occasion to talk a bit about the B2B digital transformation. But first, I would like to talk a bit about Ibexa. Who is Ibexa? Ibexa is a strong software vendor with more than 20 years of experience in the digital transformation. As you know, we have a strong footprint in Europe with a lot of offices. In 2021, we opened a new office in Madrid, in Spain. And in 2022, we plan to open a new office in the Benelux. As you can see, we have some very great number. Today, I would like to underline one number. The number of partners. We have now 70 partners in the Ibexa network, and I'm very proud about that. It's not only a question of quantity, it's a question of quality. And I would like to say, yes, I think we have one of the most important, one of the most powerful partner network in Europe. I would like also to underline our new shareholder. Now, since 6 months, we have the Quantum Group as the new shareholder of Ibexa, as Quantum Group is one of the most important investors in Scandinavia. And for us, it's very important to have this kind of shareholder, very strong shareholder, able to support our growth. But I would like, beyond this number, I would like to talk a bit about Ibexa. What is our job? We are a DXP software vendor. But what is a DXP? The DXP is the foundation for every project of digital transformation. So maybe on your side, you have already started a project of digital transformation. But you need to have a DXP as the foundation for your project of digital transformation. Just an example, and I would like to insist on that, no digital transformation project without a DXP. At the top of the slide, you can see the different steps of our methodology regarding the B2B digital transformation. And whatever is your digital maturity, you need to have a DXP. And a DXP like Ibexa help you with a lot of features for doing your digital transformation. So maybe for the step one, you need to have a CMS or for the step 2, you need to have a PIN. Whatever is your digital maturity, all your content are shared between the different bricks of Ibexa DXP. And if you have some external business software, it's also possible to connect all your software to Ibexa DXP. As you can see, Ibexa DXP is the heart of your digital transformation. But we are not a software vendor like the others. We are 100% focused on B2B. And B2B is not this circle, it's this one. And a lot of our competitors underestimated the B2B market. In B2B, you can find some very incredible company. And our mission is to empower this B2B company with a digital transformation. Ibexa is the only DXP software vendor 100% dedicated to B2B digital transformation. And a lot of our competitors ask us, why this focus? Is B2B different? And yes, it is. In B2B, it's not just that the rules are changing. Look at this. 34% of millennials prefer no sales rep interaction at all in a B2B setting. 44%. 80% of buyers are willing to switch provider to better digital experiences. I think for me and for all the B2B company, it's so brutal. And it's brutal, and at the same time, it's not very easy to do digital transformation when you are a B2B business. And we know that. We know how hard it is to transform your B2B business. Look at this. 33% of sellers can present complex products. And here, I talk only about the presentation, not how to sell online. Another number I would like to underline. 11 people involved in sales cycles on the buying side. 11 is very important, and sometimes, in some cases, it can be up to 20. B2B sales cycles are very long and very complex and very different as B2C. Another statistic maybe, buyers use 10 different channels. It can be email, it can be SMS, it can be also the website, portal, also phone call. You can have 10, 20 different channels. It's very important. And so it's very important to have a DXP at the heart of the digital transformation, to be able to have in one place all your content for your digital transformation. And I would like also to insist on complex products, because a lot of B2B companies sell complex products. And complex product is not like that. These pens are very easy to sell online in one click as in B2C. But complex product can be like that. It can be a printing press. And this kind of products are very complex. And they can be sold online in one click as in B2C. So B2B companies need to have some specific B2B features. It can be a guided selling and a product comparison. It can be a budget calculator and a visual comparison. It can be a quick repeat order or order on behalf of, very important. And in the end, you need also to have some sales room to connect your salesperson to your customer. You can see here at this schema. This schema is a part of our methodology. More your product is complex, more you need to have a portal combining digital sales services and real personal interaction. And so you need to adapt your roadmap with your different persona. Here you can see a part of our methodology, our canvas. Beyond our great software, we have also a great methodology that helps you to become a digital winner. And here you can see a specific B2B methodology. You can see the step 1, the step 2, etc. And for each step, you can find with Ibexa DXP the right feature. So whatever your digital maturity, Ibexa is an all-in-one modular solution which includes all the top features you need. So at the beginning, you have the step 1, you need to have only the search and the CMS. It's not a problem. Just after, you need to continue your digital transformation. You need also to have a personalization brick or an e-commerce feature, not a problem. And what is very great with Ibexa, you can also adapt and expand your software with some very custom development. It's very important because the software needs to adapt with your business and your roles. To summarize, I would like to say at Ibexa, we love complex products. We love to empower B2B companies. We have a B2B game changer. And to prove it, I have some business case. The first one is Bot. Bot is a B2B producer of van ranking. As you can see, it's complex product. They have now Ibexa, only one system, one DXP, with 30 websites and a greater brand consistency. And at the first step of your digital transformation, the brand consistency is very important. Another example is Boma. Boma is a producer of high-performance polymeric material solution. As you can see at the screen, it's not very easy to sell this kind of product in one click as in B2C. So they need to have a strong website, and Boma is now at the step 2 of our methodology of the digital transformation, because they have a strong brand consistency, but they have also an entire product catalog online, and they use Ibexa as a PIM. Another one very great example is Delabé. Delabé is a French manufacturer, very known in France, and European leader in water controls and sanitary ware. Before, change were only made once a month. Now they are made in real time. So they have a strong website, brand consistency. They have also a strong catalog online, and they use Ibexa as a PIM, and they have also some access like portal, and so they continue to progress in the digital transformation. And maybe a last example, and a great example, is Atlantic. Atlantic is a French leader of thermal comfort solution. As you can see, now to guide a B2B visitor a unified and current user experience across all Atlantic branding products. And you can see at the screen the catalog, online catalog. And so Atlantic continue to transform our digital transformation. And so they have now a strong brand consistency. They have some portal access. They have a strong catalog online. And now in 2022, they have also some feature to sell online, some supplies. So I'm very proud about this customer case, because I think it's an example about digital transformation. Maybe a last slide, more commercial, to talk a bit about Ibexa and the different package. As you know, maybe we have 3 different packages in Ibexa. The first one is Ibexa Content. The second one is Ibexa experience, and the third is Ibexa commerce. Whatever is your digital transformation, you can choose the right package for you. So at the step one, Ibexa content can be the right package. So the time to market for you can be very good. And maybe step by step, because you need to go forward in your digital transformation, you need to change your package. And here, as in B2C, it's possible to do that in one click. Thank you for your time. I'm now passing the baton to Camille for a great demonstration of Ibexa DXP.
Thank you, Gregory. Yes, so welcome everyone. Greg already explained perfectly the DXP idea and the concept behind it. I would like to take just a couple of minutes to reflect on that, to prove some of these words, and also to make sure that we all agree that Ibexa is the B2B game changer here. So, as you could have already understood, DXP is not just about the content, neither about the products. It's all about the composition of those things, empowered then by rich user experience. So starting with the content, of course, you want your brand awareness, you want to be present, you want all of this stuff to look nice. Of course, this is business. You care about your products. You deliver different products, as Gregory spoke. You can have simple products, like in the case of this demo, you can have some creams and healthcare products, but you can also have very complex products like medical devices. And this is a whole different story between the face cream and the device for checking your health. So down the road, it's all about the presentation of the content. Eventually, it's about the products. And I think that the composition of all of those elements is the key here. Of course, elements related to the commerce part are important, adding to the basket, having this whole transaction available for the end user is also important, but you have to look at the DXP as a whole without dividing it into those little pieces. At the beginning, I mentioned that it makes some sense to look at this from the perspective of personalization, because when you have this content, when you have these products, when you have your brand being present in the market, you also want to attract the right people. And the easiest example to show how you could do that, and of course this is only one of many ways of doing this with our platform. One of the ways how you could address this concern is to rely on the segmentation features in the platform. So here we can select, we can say that everyone should see this item, but then if we know that the user with whom we interact at a given moment is a doctor, even more if we know that this is an immunologist, so we know the specialization of this user, we can then speak to that person in a more appropriate language. Let's say not even presenting a product like we did for everyone, but instead we could attract attention with a dedicated content, and so on and so forth. For other type of doctors, we could get back this time to a bit more complex product, like one of those devices you could have seen before, and then finally put it on a page, make it present for everyone, and see how it's gonna behave for those different personas. So you can get an idea how you can blend it all together. And finally, when everything is in place, you can start selling these right products to right people. And speaking about the products, I'm pretty sure that Sylvain can't wait to show you all the details and all of the recent improvements in terms of headless capabilities for this part of our platform. So I'm not taking more time. Thank you so much for your attention, and heading to Sylvain.
Thanks, Camille. Indeed, we have a lot of things to talk about in this new version, but thank you for this quick tour of the main features and explaining how the DXP components can be used for helping the digital transformation. And I agree with Gregory. We love complex products at Ibexa. would like to help those companies to in their digital transformations. And at Ibexa, we are building the DXP for B2B, the B2B game changer, as they mentioned. But with this new version, we'll focus on the PIM capabilities. This new version, Ibexa DXP 4.1, has been officially announced yesterday. So I encourage you to go to our website, ibexa.co, to see the blog post mentioning this. And we wanted to focus on this presentation, on this webinar today, about the omnichannel capabilities. We have improved our integrated PIM, product information management. This is the new component that we have released with Ibexa DXP 4.0 earlier this year. It allows companies to handle complex products, as Gregory was mentioning, but also large product catalogs, complex product catalogs as well. Our integrated PIM comes with a unique interface that combines product data and marketing information. We'll see that. It simplifies the collaboration between marketing departments and product departments. So your customers can get all the information that they need on any channel. So let's jump into the topic of omnichannel. And Gregory was mentioning it earlier in the presentation. In this B2B space, the customer journey is more complex than ever. And it involves multiple touch points from the website to apps, including emails, brochures. He was mentioning also text messages. And at the same time, the sales process for B2B companies is also quite complex. Again, I'm giving the numbers that Gregory mentioned earlier. It can involve up to 11, it can involve 11 people, up to 20 sometimes. So it's really important for B2B companies to provide the right content to the right person on the right channel. In the B2B world is also evolving fast and changing. Companies, they need to adapt and innovate, explore new markets. They need to experiment new strategy, new sales strategies. And that's why having a DXP with those modules that you saw earlier, you can activate and explore different opportunities. And I just give you an instance, building a microsite to promote a new brand from your group when you expand to a new country should be easy, should not take months. The time to market is very important. And this is only for the customer side or the buyer side. When you can also imagine that the DXP is so critical for the seller side, the sales representatives that will use the content, the product information, everything that is stored in the Ibexa DXP in the digital experience platform. And you can, for instance, create an app for your sales reps that are on the field when they meet customers. We'll see an example in this demo today. Gregory said that Ibexa is at the heart of the digital transformation. I say like Ibexa is the cornerstone of the digital business. To conclude, the abundance of technology that we see, Ibexa is the right solution to provide a future-proof digital transformation for the B2B companies, allowing them to innovate faster and stay relevant on this evolving fast market. And Omnichannel was here. You can see that was already the case. It is already the case, but it's here to stay. And how Ibexa can help you in this challenge of Omnichannel. For this, we'll talk about headless. Headless is the concept of having the head will be the presentation layer that will display the body that is the content repository. Content repository, I mean by that it is everything that is stored in your Ibexa DXP, but also combined with external data sources that you can leverage and push to different channels. Combine it with information stored in Ibexa DXP. So it's not just the database and the information that you have in DXP, it's providing the right experience, the right content, right information to the person. And this is why, and I want to emphasize this, that content and design, they need to be separated, and they are separated in Ibexa DXP. Why that? Because then you don't know where this content will be used. It would be in an app, in a kiosk, maybe on a flyer, maybe on the brochure. So that's why you have to separate design and content. The rendering is different. And this is core for Ibexa DXP from the beginning when we designed the architecture, and we'll see that a little bit later, but content and design are separated. So you are safe to build anything with Ibexa. Content is delivered via APIs, and we are relying on two main technologies here, the REST API and GraphQL that was added after, but it's quite performant. Let's have a look at why Ibexa is the right tool. It's coupled and decoupled at the same time. And this is like from the content authoring to the content delivery. You have the content creators on the left side, the writer, the sheet editor, the translator, but also the product manager managing product data, and also content management for the campaigns, the new products that you want to launch, or the new sites, the microsite that you wanted to, that I was mentioning before. Everything is stored in the content repository, available via APIs, as I said. And the top part, this is the template base and the page management, the regular websites that you know, with all the technology to build pages. Camille showed you the page builder, and this is using the first layer, the template-based content and page management. You have full flexibility here to build website pages, single page application. This is completely doable. But because we separate content and design, and this is available via APIs, we can also push, or you can also pull the raw content, the pure content. Custom front-end delivery system is important. Gregory was mentioning you need to be able to have custom rendering, but the idea is like using GraphQL and REST API, you can use your content basically everywhere. Moving on to the architecture, and I don't want to spend too much time here. There are two things that I want you to remember. First is technology that is based on PHP and the Symfony framework, but all the layers that you see, they have extension points for the database, for the field types, for the PHP API. You have the Symfony bundle. You have also the administration interface can be extended. And I want to just highlight this part. This is what we are talking about today. This is REST API and GraphQL, where you can consume the content. So you see the storage, the information is available on the two channels, two main channels, and they can be extended. And I was, Gregory said, like the product needs to adapt to your needs, to your business. And this is why Ibexa is so great to build your digital transformation, to help in your roadmap of digital transformation, because you have extension points. And if you have a new technology that you want to try, I don't know, maybe a voice assistant or whatever it's on the market that feels relevant for your business, you can use an extension point for REST API and GraphQL, custom endpoint, custom schema. So you are not blocked. You can evolve with the technology. Let's move on. I wanted to talk a little bit about security, because this is also a core component, the user management in this in Ibexa. Everything is you have a very granular permission and roles and policies in this solution. And this is also available for REST and GraphQL. So when you access, I don't know, if you are a visitor, anonymous visitor, then you will see a specific product, a specific catalog, or the default price. When you are registered as a reseller, retailer, partner of a company, then you get more information. You get access to more information or custom prices. And it's the same for the websites. I was talking here about the website. This is the same for REST and GraphQL. You then get the right information, the accurate information. So different sites can be created in the different and interacted with. This is a fully integrated headless solution. So I was mentioning two technologies, REST API and GraphQL. Which headless API should be used in which cases? REST has been part of the product for a long time. It has been a technology that is available for a long time, actually, since HTTP. So this is if you want to have like maximum compatibility with external solutions, with integration. Basically, everyone on the market provides REST, so it will simplify the interaction between solutions. It's a simple web service. You have dedicated endpoints, and it's covering everything on our platform. Everything is accessible, from content, product management, but also the system administration, roles, and policies. So we are using also this REST API to develop the product. It has to be good. On the opposite side, you have GraphQL. So GraphQL is more recent technology developed by Facebook. It has been open source. And there is GraphQL was created by Facebook to overcome some limitation or some problems that REST has. And mostly it's about performance. And you can see in this schema that a single request can then retrieve posts, comments, and others. And you retrieve the only information that you need for the mobile app, but GraphQL can be used also in a single page application, can be used anywhere. It's a more recent technology, but the adoption is quite fast. And obviously it's optimized for mobile usage. I hope that those slides, they give you a better idea of why having DXP is important, but having this technology is also important, having headless capabilities, so you can combine and you can adapt and select the right solution to push your content. Stop talking about the architecture, the technology, and so on. Let's have a look at the real use cases, how our customers, how Ibexa customers are currently using our solution in a generic way, but also in a headless way. And the first one that I want to mention is Comeco. This is coming from Germany. Comeco is created an app that is the TO mobile app, lifestyle banking app platform. And basically what is great with this use case is that TO is basically combining different sources of information. The content managers from different banks and different agencies and Comeco employees are using Ibexa to create content, and this content will be reused on portals, on apps, and so on. And that's also optimized with Ibexa personalization. So again, editors from Comeco and partner banks, e-commerce partners can deliver content securely in this platform, despite being headless. As I said, like there is also recommendation of content, so they take really advantage of the headless capabilities of Ibexa. Second use case, second example is KitchenAid. This is another great use case for Ibexa, where all the components are activated, I will say, with like a multiple brands. So optimizing brand consistency across the different countries, the different brands, And Ibexa is used as a content hub, create content, and this content can be reused on website, mobile app, or even web to print. This is another way to use the content. And this, you need to have the raw content. Basically and this is the case of KitchenAid, from the recipes that they were writing and publishing on the blog post, they were able to create a book, recipe book, using this content. And Ibexa DXP used to push content to microsite, mini sites, kitchen appliance, and mobile apps. A more recent customer, again, brand consistency was an important step. This is what Gregor was mentioning, like in our canvas. The first step is being online, being consistent across brands, but for groups and in different countries. They have a multi-site, multi-language capabilities, and the headless part, it's used for all the information regarding the airports, news, contacts. This is the network section on their website, and they pull this information and broadcast this information in different channels. API endpoints can also be used down the road to provide different applications that they are currently building. Last example, Stromnetz from Hamburg. Again, here, corporate website, but also the two portals, one self-service portal and also partner portals. The content, because it's a single platform, content can be reused across sites and solutions, including the mobile app. Now I will jump to the demo. And for this, I will reuse the instance that Camille was using, presenting the core components of the DXP. And I will focus on the products, the PIM capability that we have, and I will go with medical devices. As we said, there are B2B companies, they have complex products, and we have a content model way. Our PIM is quite unique, combining rich product data with marketing information. So this is a very simple example, but it can be more complex, combining like rich assets, product description, also the price, and also the characteristics that are here. This content is manageable in this interface, and I will have already to log in again. Oh, that's good. So I was looking at this, for instance, this product type. So you can have different product types at Ibexa. You can create your own product type based on your needs. This is just an example for the pharma industry, but you have the full flexibility. Ibexa, based on the content model and the storage that we have, you can create as many product types that you want and store that in the PIM. Can be connected with external solution, obviously, but for this demo, this is not the case. So we use only the capabilities of Ibexa here. So you create different types of products. So here I can see self-care medicine, blood gas system. There is also skincare product that Camille was showing just before. And if I look at the details of this, I have here the marketing part with the metadata, but also one or multiple images, videos, description, short description. Here it's also very flexible. This is just for the demo purpose. And the attributes that you can group by together. And we have added metric field type in for that one, where you can put like every type of units, such as like mass or time, pressure, whatever that you have. And this is also extensible, customizable. At the same time, you have the price and the availability, so you can have like custom prices. Everything here that you see is available indeed with the first channel, building a page, a single site, but it's also available in the headless way. And for this, I will open my phone. This is Else app that is installed in an iPhone. And the idea of this example is that I have sales rep that are on the field just for the medical devices like the broadcast system. And I built this app that is available. I can browse the catalog, and this catalog is only about those medical devices. I don't see the skincare product because as a sales rep, I'm not selling those skincare products. I'm selling, or I need information regarding those devices. So this is using the headless way with GraphQL. If I click on this product, I see that the information is the same. And if I update this one, it will also update here. And I was mentioning GraphQL a little bit earlier that you can optimize the request. Just for the purpose of the demo, I decided to only retrieve part of the information, not all the attributes. I have much more attributes in this. I don't have them here because I can optimize the request from GraphQL. This is just an example how, like, when I separate content and design, how I can render things differently. Another example that I wanted to share with you, like when you have different products and you want to probably have a different strategy when it comes to communication. And you can imagine that maybe with the new products that you have for the skincare products, you want a small brochure to promote that's new product in the catalog. With Ibexa DXP, you can have like create a script or connect with a web to print to generate a PDF using just filtering the products using the new product that are available with the price in this category. I hope it gives you some ideas of how it can be used, and you can see the different ways that I've been using the remote APIs. Let's look at the roadmap of Ibexa DXP. V4, we are talking about V4 because this is V4.1 that we have released. This is where we will focus from the B2B digital selling shift with customer data and product data. The product data that we have now that's coming from the PIM capability, the product information management, will continue to improve in this. But there is also an important aspect for the data. It's the customer data, how to manage customers, entities. This is what we call at Ibexa corporate accounts, where you can have the people in the same group optimizing the buying process for those customers. Everything will so we will release more around those two core components that we will have this year. But down the road, the thing is that Ibexa will be the cornerstone of the digital business, and for this we have to go with a lot of automation, a lot of interoperability in the sales process. Indeed, in this landscape, there is a lot of connectivity that is needed. You saw that we have a lot of extension points, but for the go-to-market and evolving and connecting solutions, this is key for the product. Looking at the roadmap, so now we release V4.1. V4.2 will be released in July 22, and 4.3 September, and so on. Every quarter, a release. At the end of the day, what is Ibexa V4 and what you can expect from the future? So V4.1, a lot of things have been done around the headless PIM, the headless taxonomy, measurement field type. This is the new type that we have introduced in your PIM. We have also improved the efficiency of content writer, editors, users with contextual actions in the content tree. And one thing that is important that Camille was mentioning is the targeting, personalizing the content in Ibexa DXP. We have introduced the dynamic targeting where you can associate a segment, an audience, with a recommendation scenario, a personalization scenario. One last thing that I wanted to mention in 4.1 is that every time that we add a feature or we make an evolution on one feature, we add the migration needed for this. So the migration bundle helping you to deploy faster new sites and migrate for and install the solution and go to market and go live faster. What is coming? So this is what I wanted to mention. A lot of things coming with the product catalog, the PIM, product bundle, product configurator. Associated with this is virtual products that will come. You saw in the demo that this PIM is also associated with pricing and volume discount, and volume pricing and discounts will also come with price list, the way to deal with complex pricing, because it's not only complex products, complex pricing in the B2B. This is and complex pricing for customer groups, but also corporate accounts. This is when you have a dedicated catalog with dedicated prices for a specific company. This will be possible in the near future of Ibexa DXP. But the content authoring, this is the last piece of where we'll invest, is like with all those team members, product managers, marketers, designers, translators. When you launch a campaign, you need a workspace to create, coordinate, having the approval of your colleagues. This will be a new core component of Ibexa, where you can be more efficient as writers, content producers, product managers, with collaborative editing and a workspace to launch a campaign. I hope that this gives you a better idea of what is coming. And now I hand it over to Nicole with the Q&A.
Thank you, Sylvain. Also, thanks for all the questions in the chat, which I would like to also summarize for the ones that were not following the chat. Also, just feel free to continue typing your questions. We will definitely come back to them. So if you have missed it, there were a few questions ongoing, which Camille also has answered, providing further details and links for documentation, which I invite you to also revise. And if there's anything else internally to be added, feel free to do so. As the first question was about the technology stack, DB hosting layer, app logic presentation layer, where then in short, the answer is that PHP with relational DB as one thing, and then the presentation twig on the server side and or SPA. Camille provided the link to the documentation, and feel free if there's anything else to add, Camille or Sylvain, Gregory, but I think this is pretty straightforward. Then additionally, since you use PHP, the suite should be able to sit on top of a WordPress base. Would that be correct? So as Camille already said, this is not a typical use case for Ibexa. I think also we've seen it in some parts within the presentation where there will be much more powerful options to also use one tool, especially for content management. So that should be clear. Would you like to add anything there, Camille?
No, I think it's pretty clear. You would rather replace WordPress by our solution, not try to blend them together, to put it simply.
All right. Regarding Azure AD, yes, you said, Camille, you said yes, this can be provided and easily configured to work with Azure. There's also the link posted to the documentation. So if there are any further questions relating to this part, feel free to also type them in. Then regarding the integration for Dynamics 365, so do you happen to have a first-party supported integration to that? So we do not provide connectors, but we make sure that our public API is ready, establishing such connectivity during implementation phase of the project.
Yeah, I can add maybe something a little bit more regarding this. Indeed, we don't have this out of the box, but this is something that we will improve when the corporate accounts, I mean, we plan a better integration with those two main, I would say, players on the market, Microsoft and SAP, when it comes to ERP, CRM, probably also Salesforce will be in the list. So around the product information, inventory, but also customer information, we plan to improve our tools to connect and pull information, combine information on Ibexa DXP, so you can take advantage of it directly in the DXP.
Great. And then I will come back to the question related to PIM, as many companies already use PIM systems. So are there ready-made migration tools for the most common PIM systems, or do migration scripts have to be developed for each individual case? That was also answered, but also feel free to just add additional comments to that, as there is no dedicated PIM migration tool. We do have a link for the documentation as well, but if you prefer to keep existing PIM, then definitely our recommendation is connecting to it and pulling products into Ibexa, but still treating existing PIM as the only source of truth.
Yeah, as the answer is mentioning, the tool to go for such an operation, if you want to move this PIM information in one go from one place to another, you should probably consider just using Ibexa migrations for that. That seems to be the easiest and the fastest way to achieve this goal.
All right, I would say let's have a look on also what is included in which product version. So referring to your question, Rainer, which of the coming soon tools are for commerce only, which will be only available for extra costs?
So I can describe the way that, I mean, corporate accounts will be available from Ibexa Experience. The product catalog, the PIM, is available from Ibexa Content. Everything that is related to the transactional part, this is something that is not listed here, but it's considered as in the future versions, is the subscription module. Simple subscription module will be connected to its commerce. The volume pricing and discount, this is something that is already available in the Ibexa Content. You can already make like custom prices and this. So I would say regarding the commerce, there's only the subscription. But if you want to sell online, you will need Ibexa Commerce. So you can display your products. This is our interesting approach when we decided to do this packaging, is that from this digital transformation, you should be able to display your product and the pricing from the first type of product that we sell. So from Ibexa Content, you are able to create indeed your product and also define the price. This is one of the first pain points that buyers in the B2B world are mentioning, like the availability, the price, and seeing the product information. So we believe that is important to have those three main parts included in Ibexa Content, so you can start your digital transformation now. You don't have to buy commerce, basically. at some point, if you want to buy commerce to be able to sell online like Atlantic is doing for some part of their product catalog, then you upgrade. It's the same technology, you just activate extra packages and that's it.
Thank you so much for your explanation. So there's one last question I'm seeing, at least, unless there's one more coming in, let's see. But is it possible with version 4 to impersonate other users or backend user groups to easily test permission changes and so on?
No, there is a tool to impersonate users to visualize the recommended content or with the targeting block on page builder. I mean, we have the technology. I will put that in the feature backlog because I think it's interesting feedback. Thanks.
Thank you. So at this part, I would also just like to go back to one of the previous mentions, also from my side, regarding further content available for you. There is also a blog post from Sylvain, which you can also access on our blog, which I've also just posted here in the chat, but there's for sure much more content available, which goes along with that. And we have come to the end of today's release webinar. I would like to thank you for joining us today, asking the questions that you have, and staying with us until now. If you have further questions, feel free to just reach out. You see the email address pulled up there. If you have product feedback, we highly appreciate that as well. And again, we will share the recording afterwards. So thank you again for being with us today.